My name is Jen O'Sullivan. You may know me from the Human Body and Essential Oils. A big shout out to all of you guys in Idaho. I'm so happy to be here with you guys today, even though it's virtual. And thanks to Stephanie, Whitney, and Echo, the ladies who are putting this event on. And I just wanted to say thank you for allowing me to come in to your lives for even just a brief moment today. So what we're going to talk about today is blending. We're just going to get right into the topic. Those of you guys that know me in my group, we don't lollygag around, we just get right into it. So if you are interested in learning more information, I'll give you some of that information at the end, but it's the Human Body and Essential Oils group, which is just a really fun group for education. So to talk about blending a little bit, there's a big misunderstanding about blending, and people get really confused about how to actually do it properly. How things work as far as like the action of the oils, specifically like if you're taking peppermint, and why I might make a blend with peppermint from one company and make a blend that's the exact same recipe from another company and it works completely differently, and why that is. You know, there's a big confusion surrounding blends. Basically, when you think about synergy, it's kind of like two people can get more things done, but you put three together, biblically it says three cords together is not easy to break. So it's the same, like you can take lavender and lemon and put it together and it creates an interesting smell. Sometimes people will put lemon and peppermint together and it's actually a really nice mix for your water. But if you were to take lavender, lemon, and peppermint together and blend them together, what a synergy means is it's something other. So it's not like you're creating some sort of random thing here. You're actually taking the constituents. These constituents are those individual molecules that make up the entirety of one essential oil. So lavender has a different thumbprint than lemon and peppermint, and they all have different constituents. Those constituents come together and they kind of mix and they meld together. So when you actually create a blend, most people will put oil, they'll put carrier oil in, say, a roller ball, and then they'll add their essential oils in one at a time. What you're basically doing is you're not creating a synergy, you're making singles that are kind of floating around in the oil. They do somewhat blend, but you still have some lemon molecules that might have been kind of captured in the oil part, the carrier oil, and not synergizing with the essential oils because they're two completely different things. So the best thing to do is to put them together and mix them together first. It's kind of like when you're making apple pie and they say, you need to mix certain things first. You need to blend the eggs and the sugar and the butter first, and then you start adding the other ingredients. It's because there needs to be a proper mix. So the best way to do a blend, creating what's called a synergy, something other than the whole of its parts, would be to take all three ingredients, let's say lavender, lemon, and peppermint for our example, and you put them together in the in the actual roller ball, and then you add carrier after that. So a better way, so that would be like the easiest way. So let's say you're just trying to make it quick and dirty. Put like 6 drops of each in a roller ball container, and then you add carrier oil to top it off. So you would swirl it around and then add the carrier and swirl it around. To actually make a correct and true balanced synergy, meaning it's fully synergized, all you need to do is actually dump the oils that you're putting in the mix into a container, like the roller ball that you're using or a dropper bottle, whatever it is that you're using, and then actually let it sit for 24 to 48 hours. You don't even have to swirl it. The oils will work on their own. They literally are that volatile that they want to kind of mix together. So you can give it a little swirl, but then just leave it. Leave it for 24 to 48 hours, and then after that time is up, add your carrier. Now you've got a completely something other oil that you'll see will work a little bit differently. So that is the proper way of making a blend. And the other misunderstanding is blending blends, right? So when you look at a company like Young Living is the forerunner of blends, meaning every other company on the planet copies them. And I'm not kidding about that. You will see Thieves knockoffs, you'll see Peace and Calming knockoffs, you'll see Valor knockoffs. Straight up, everybody is copying Young Living blends because they're brilliant. And when you create something brilliant, like the best apple pie on the planet, everybody wants to copy that recipe. The problem is the actual ingredients are different. Even though it's the same, right? You could say an egg from your grocery store is the same as an egg from the farmer's market down the street. Actually, not really. They're both an egg, but they're very different. Even some of you, if you have chickens on your property, you know that your eggs are very different than store-bought eggs. That's just the way it is. So it's like making a chocolate chip cookie. You take all the ingredients and you use all the best ingredients, the purest, the most organic, everything is fresh, and you have the most amazing cookie. Whereas if you were to take Crisco and fake chocolate chips and, you know, kind of crappy eggs that are from the grocery store that are old, it's clearly different. So when you take a Young Living blend that has been synergized to perfection, meaning Gary Young has formulated these blends to be very specific, and then you add, like, say, another blend, like I see people all the time taking RC and purification and putting them together and putting them in their diffuser, you can do that. I'm not saying that you can't do that. The issue here is that the Synergy was meant to work on its own as a beautiful blend, whereas now you're kind of creating almost like a monster, okay? So it's better if you wanted to kind of bump blends. That's a really fun way to kind of play with pre-existing synergies or blends, like taking something simple like Stress Away and bumping it with maybe peppermint, right? Something that's not already in the blend. I hear a lot of people bumping Stress Away with lavender. Well, lavender's already in that blend. So if you love the smell of lavender, that's okay. It's no big deal. You're basically bumping it. You're adding extra lavender to kind of enhance that part of the synergy. Whereas if you were to take Stress Away and Valor and a bunch of other things, plus a bunch of other things, singles and blends, it's what you're basically doing is creating sort of a kitchen sink blend. So I recommend that you, if you're gonna start making your own blends, which it's so super fun to make your own blends, and I highly recommend it, to go ahead and start with singles. Like literally start with singles and do 3, 4, 5. The general rule of thumb in the aromatherapy industry is to stick with odd numbers. It's not to say that this is a hard and fast rule. It's that 3, it's like the whole 2 are strong, but 3 are better. There's something interesting that happens when you have an odd number of oils, single oils in a blend. That's not to say that a 4 oil blend won't be perfect. It's just play around with that. And cap it at around 7. Now, when you see blends that have tons of oils in it, it's because the people who made them, i.e. Gary Young, it understands chemistry so well, and they're his oils. Like, he knows exactly what was in those. So it's within his rights, like a chef. It would be within the chef's rights to say, you know what, I want to make a sheep herder's pie or something out of some pre-existing stuff that I've already made. He knows what's in that. He knows what flavors are going to work well together. So it's the same with Gary, and why you might say an oil like Awaken, which has tons of actual blends in it. It's specific to the actual way he made that, okay? So it's not like he just said, well, let's dump a bunch of blends together and see what happens. It's not mad science. It's actual science. So I encourage you guys to do one of 2 things. 1, make a blend with 3 or 5 or 7 oils, singles to start. So start with 3, see how you like the smell. You can play with the number of drops, you know, make small amounts so you can kind of see what you like, see what works. And then if you wanted to, as a secondary try taking a pre-existing blend, a synergy, like Purification or RC or Gentle Baby or Stress Away, and bumping it, right? So one of everyone's favorite bump blends, I call them bump blends because that's really what they are. You're taking something like Joy, and this is one of everyone's favorites, is taking Joy and bumping it with orange. And I actually am a big tangerine fan because it's a little sweeter smell. So that just means you would say in your diffuser, take 6 drops of Joy and like 4 drops of tangerine. Try it. It's really, really a beautiful blend. So meaning it's a bumped synergy. I hope this has helped you guys understand a little bit more about blends and synergies and how they all work. I highly encourage you guys to get into my group, The Human Body and Essential Oils, if you have not already gotten in there. You're welcome to add anybody that you want. It is literally a no sales zone group, meaning I don't sell kits in that group. So it's for you to add your people to so that they can learn about essential oils in a safe environment where I'm literally fire hosing you. So I encourage you guys to get in there, and do know that one of the cool things is the app, the EO Bar app, which actually has tons of these recipes in it, so you can learn how to make your own synergies and blends, plus how to bump blends. And then the other thing that's a good resource for you would be the 2 books that I've written, 2 that are already written and 2 that are coming out. So we've got literally the human body and essential oils. You can get in there and see any of our pre-release that's happening, but the 2 books that I have right now is French Aromatherapy, which has a ton of recipes, and that's a really good book if you like to actually have your recipes in hand. And how it all works. And then the Essential Oil Truth is the book that is from a non-company perspective, literally doesn't mention Young Living even once. And the reason I did that is so that you could hand that book to somebody who maybe kind of curious about oils, but they don't want to be like sold to. You know, we all know people like that. I think all of us are like that. So that book is really to help people understand what's the deal with essential oils, the facts without the hype. And then I have two books coming at you, and one of them is launching today, which I'm excited for you guys to come on Amazon and check it out. And it's going to be a good one. It's on the business side of essential oils, but it's called Essentially Driven. So you can just type in Essentially Driven on Amazon, and you can pick up a copy of that. We have bulk pre-orders too as well. And then we also have a book coming out, or I have a book that's coming out called it's basically Essential Oil Make and Takes. So no joke, it's how to do a make and take party correctly. I think too many of us do make and takes incorrectly, and it's hard because there's so much work involved in those. And this one has over 60 recipes. Guest recipe by Lucy Libido, so I'm super excited about that. And I hope you enjoy everything that I offer to you guys, because everything is education. Also check out 31 Oils. 31 Oils is my company, not my company, but a company that actually sources my stuff, and it's super good for just helping you with education. So, all right, you guys, I love you. I'm so happy that I was able to be here with you for today. I hope you're taking tons of notes and learning, and we will see you around. Okay.